Kahalal La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, double honors unto the apostles of GMS who rule well, and salutations unto the elect pushing the truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. This is just a quick lesson, or just a video I'm doing on the green smoothie. The brothers from Men of Valor, man, they be pushing it heavy, man. And the last time I made a video with a smoothie was like 2-3 years ago. So we constantly evolve and we constantly move forward like living waters, right? We don't stay stagnant, so we learn many things. We don't got it all, you know so you constantly add things, right? So I'm just gonna show you what I add to my smoothie that I usually take in the morning. This is here, it's already made. You see it's green. And basically what I put in there, I start off with the base. Either I use water, sometimes I use almond milk, and then I put oats in there. Alright, I put oats. I put it's upside down though, but I put the steel cut oats. Alright, steel cut or rolled, not the instant ones that they use, that's processed. You want the real steel cut or the rolled, but the steel cut is really one of the most natural state. It has a lot of it has protein in there, it has good fat, and it's just more calories if you're looking for some more calorie dense. Just to add, has a lot of other benefits. I'm just gonna go down. This thing right here. This is an empty bottle I had of wheatgrass powder. So I just use it and put it in the refrigerator. And what I fill it up with, I buy two or three different green powders. Which the first one is wheatgrass, which not this company. I believe the company is Now. Wheatgrass. I add barley grass in there. And see, I'm forgetting the last one, man. Yeah, I'm forgetting the last one, but those two by itself, even just wheatgrass, man, that's a very strong powerhouse powder. All right. Next one is this. Again, this is an old company. I filled up the bottle. I like these bottles because they're glass and they're dark. So the darker, the dark brown bottles you can get, they're very good because they block out sun rays, which causes oxidation. It causes oxidation, and that will spoil, and deteriorate the product's nutritional value. So in here, instead of spirulina, is chlorella. All right, chlorella is in here, which spirulina and chlorella, they go together. They're both algae with similar benefits, but you don't want to be on spirulina too long, and you don't want to be on chlorella too long. It's actually a therapy that you do, because one of the key things that both these algae do is they chelate, which is removing heavy metal toxins from your body. Some people recommend 3 weeks on, 1 week off, and then you want to switch with spirulina and chlorella. But very, very powerful, man. Even if I try to open it and put some on here, just for you brothers to see. It's you can't even see it. I just put some on there. It's a very dark green powder. Sometimes they call it blue algae. All right, but this thing has a lot. It has amino acids. It has many micronutrients, minerals, proteins, vitamins. It has, again, very powerful chelating properties, which is removing heavy metals from your body, which we all have because we live in the grid, man. We have aluminum, barium, aluminum from the chemtrails. You got mercury and many things, including these damn light bulbs. And when the light bulb is on for too long, what happens? It heats up, so it disperses the fluorescent light bulbs and all that. It disperses that poisonous gas, mercury, fluoride in the water, and toothpaste, all this shit. Aluminum's even in deodorant, so we're exposed to a lot of heavy metal bullshit. All right, so that's very good for that, chlorella, and it's good for your immune system. Very, very good for that. Next thing is this combination powder I get from a store. As you can see, this is a workout fuel bodybuilding. Right, bodybuilding need a lot of fucking energy, of course. So this thing is crazy, man. This thing has amalaki, ashwagandha, which those two right there, amalaki and ashwagandha, you have sports or it's like athletes that use this, and it's very powerful. Those two alone. Ashwagandha is like the Indian Elamite ginseng down there. Brahmi, which is very, very, very good. It's a nootropic, which if you brothers look up nootropics is basically brain food, and almost 9 out of 10 the best nootropics they will always have Brahmi, or sometimes it's called Bacopa, which is Bacopa. That's another name for it, and mostly all those nootropics they'll have some kind of percentage of this Brahmi in there. Chinese ginseng, very good. Comfrey root, all right. Coral calcium, right, that's a great mineral for your bone, of course. We need it. Glucosamine HCl, I believe that's either an amino acid or coprotein, some to that effect. I haven't looked it up too deep. Guarana, I haven't looked at too deep. Hawthorn berry, very good. Hawthorn berry, that's a heart tonic, man. Plain and simple. It has many other benefits, but mainly this is a heart tonic. Hawthorn berry, if you have low or high blood pressure, it works very well with you because it helps you regulate. All right. And you know, if you have you know, you're pumping iron, or you know, you're working out, you're doing whatever, calisthenics or boxing or whatever you're doing, you know, your heart's pumping your blood, so it doesn't make it go too high nor too low. So it's very good for balancing that out. Indian sarsaparilla, very good. Kachu, haven't looked at that. Maca, all right, from Asher, tribe of Asher, mainly Incas, right? Maca is very, very powerful, right? That's another libido tonic, but it's also an athletic tonic, so it's good for activity. MSM, very, very powerful salt. If you look it up, I take that separately as well. That is for people that have osteoarthritis or arthritis in general, osteoporosis, any bone type issues. MSM, very, very powerful. Quebracho, haven't looked at that. Tribulus, very powerful. That's I believe, what's it called, puncture vine. All right, all those libidos, they'll have it, you know. And some of the you know, pre-workouts, they'll have it as well. Tulsi, very good again. That's a brain food. Vacha, haven't looked at that. Vamsa Rochna, not looked at that. Willow bark, white willow bark. I'm not sure why they would have it in this, because the only thing I know it as is for pain. Willow. That's where they extracted. That's the extract used to make aspirin today. All right, for your headaches. Willow, but I'm sure there's another reason and you know, purpose for it to be in this formula. So that's what I put. I put a teaspoon of that in there. Man, this is crazy. You know, like for me, the taste. For if brothers are wondering about the taste, I myself, I've tasted far worse things, man. You know, I deal with herbs and stuff like that, so you can't really ask me about the taste for this, because it, you know, I just sweeten it up a little bit, put some real fruit juice in there, some banana, maybe mango, whatever. Sweeten it up. You can't, you know, taste wise, I'm not the guy to ask, but it's powerful, man. You'll notice a difference. And then I put this thing in. I put brain octane, bulletproof. What this is, you have the regular MCT oil. So again, I gotta back it up. MCT, what is MCT? Medium chain triglycerides, found in coconut oil. All right, coconut oil, very, very powerful. Again, you can add just the coconut oil. You can buy coconut oil, add it to your smoothie, add a tablespoon or two. It's very powerful. You know, you can do a thing called oil pulling for your teeth. Look it up if you have gingivitis or tooth decay, bleeding gums, etc. But coconut oil has many beneficial properties inside the body. I knew someone that their mother I believe she had a brain surgery and she developed a stutter after that. And this woman, her daughter would give her coconut oil, I believe every day, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons, and after a month the stutter went away. So this is a brain food. Now, difference between coconut oil and MCT oil: MCT oil extracts the MCT straight from the coconut, so all you're getting is the MCT. All right, straight brain food. Now, what's the difference between brain octane and MCT, regular MCT? Brain octane, there's different kinds of acids in the MCT that penetrate the blood-brain barrier, meaning it goes straight to your brain. Brain octane, it extracts the best acids, I would say, and just this thing is straight brain food. Like even the MCT oil, it takes time, you know, there's delays, and you might not even get the right amount. This thing is everything is counted correctly, and the amount of the proper nutrients that your brain needs, it has, and it goes straight up quick. All right, so that's what I put in there. I just bought this last week, so I'm starting off with 1 teaspoon because this does cause belly issues. If you put in too much at one time, you can literally, you know what. But start off with 1 teaspoon and develop to a tablespoon. So I put that. Next thing, I put cinnamon in there. Cinnamon. Why do I put cinnamon? I like cinnamon. Has a good taste, gives it a little nice flavor, spice. But cinnamon, and notice you have to, you know, one thing with this health shit that Esau made, because a lot of people, obviously, you know, I complain, a lot of people complain, man, this is too much, and you have to know this, and it's expensive, and it's true. But who made it that way? It's Esau, this devil. Esau made it this way, that you have, oh, you need this. You know, all these things were normal. These things were, they you know, the term organic, it didn't have another side 100 years ago. Now, oh, GMO and pesticide and all this shit. When you get cinnamon, you have to get the Latin title Ceylon cinnamon, because you have another one, I forget the name, the regular one, right? That's not the real cinnamon. Okay. And this is the more healthier one. And again, I'm not, you know, I don't remember this word for word, and I'm not an expert, so just research true cinnamon or Ceylon cinnamon versus regular cinnamon. Just Google it, and you'll find the benefits and why the other one is not as up to par as this one. Again, this cinnamon, it regulates your blood sugar. So you know, there is sugar in here. The sugar does go in here in this smoothie. It's not refined. I don't put white sugar in that shit. I don't, you know, but there is sugar. So this is very, very good for diabetics. Okay, if you're hyperglycemic, if you have a high glucose, or you're insulin resistant, this is very good. True cinnamon. You know, so, and it has many other benefits. You know, it's another brain food, another nootropic. Some nootropics you'll find cinnamon in there. Then I put flaxseed meal. Put about a tablespoon of that in there. Good fiber, right? Good, so good for you know, for brothers that are constipated. Great for that. And then I put hemp in there. But this is actually hemp powder ready, protein. And this is something I found out a little too late. It's better, which I used to do, just get the regular hemp seeds with all the oils in there and grind them, and you'll notice they get sticky because all the oils are in there. What I learned was, if you get this, a lot of times the oils won't be in there. Alright, because sometimes they get processed out or heated because they pound this thing into powder basically. But it's still good. You know, hemp protein, you get your you know, certain amount of nutrients. I don't take this one for the protein. You know, I'm not really watching that right now. I just take it for the micronutrients. And the last thing I put in here is cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper, again, I put my dosage went up because I'm more tolerant. So cayenne pepper, you should at least try to put it in everything. Just even a little, a pinch, because cayenne pepper is a catalyst. Which catalyst, what does that mean? Is it boosts the trying to word it in a good way, it boosts the efficiency of all the other, how do you call it, properties. So again, for example, if you look up like ginkgo, you have a herb called ginkgo biloba, right? And ginkgo, it actually there's studies on it that it's up to 70 times more potent, right? When added with cayenne pepper, all right? And why? Because again, the cayenne pepper is what is it? It's meant mainly for the blood, right? Because it has that it has that red, that deep red hue, right? And again, there's different kinds of cayenne pepper. It starts off with 40,000 IUs, right? Which basically is a measuring tool for the hotness of it. All right. Then I believe you have 80,000. Then you go to the highest is either 120 or 150, I think. 150,000, which is obviously the healing benefits, but the higher you go, the more hotter it gets, obviously. And they'll have it in capsules sometimes. They'll have the regular cayenne for like $8.99 Canadian, and then they'll have extra hot for like $1.20 more, and that's like 100,000 IUs. So again, put it in everything, man. Put it in your little salad. Put it in your omelet. Put whatever, man. You know, I always put it in the blender, man, because it's great. It's great for blood circulation. It cleans the blood. You know, when the blood is flowing, the blood is freely flowing. There's no clogged arteries. There's no stagnation. Your blood is not too thin nor too thick. Everything is good because the minerals are going to where it needs to go. Right? When you have when you have a disruption in the flow of the blood, that's where many problems occur. And especially when blood can't access the brain properly, where there's a blockage there, your brain needs the nutrients as well. So that's why a lot of people, man, they get foggy brain, or you know, they don't remember because not enough things are hitting the brain properly. Blood-brain barrier, not enough oxygen is even going to the brain, right? So that's what's going on as well. So I put it in there. It's also a thermogenic, cayenne pepper, which thermogenic just means heat creation. Heat creation, which all it means basically is like when you buy these thermogenics at the store, you know, mainly they'll put cayenne, they'll put green tea in there, extract. They might put coffee in there, extract. All it is basically you burning fat, you know, your fat deposits, or your body increasing its metabolic rate, right? Which is your body just increasing the heartbeat and whatnot. And that brain octane is also, I forgot to mention, is a thermogenic as well, the bulletproof brain octane. But the cayenne pepper is another thermogenic. You might feel your heart rate going up, or you getting heated up, and you know, don't worry about that. That's your metabolism going up, and that's a good thing. And that's it. And the last thing I would say is when you blend it, because I have a blender. Some brothers use juicers. You know, for me, I'm not a personal fan of the juicer. I just like to blend it. And I know one of the concerns that brothers that juice, they do have about the blender is it gets hot real fast and it destroys the micronutrients of the things you put in, which is true, 100% true. The only thing is, you can combat that. What you can do is, because it depends, you might have 1,000 watt, 1,200 watt blender. That's very powerful. In 30 seconds, that's just heating up real quick. You know, the almond milk I used was in the refrigerator, so that's cold. I put some juice in there, fruit juice, real fruit juice, in there from the fridge. Again, another cold thing. What you want to do, put the icing on the cake, so to speak, or the cherry on top, is put like 2-3 ice cubes right on top. Right when you finish everything, right when you pack it to the top, put like 2 or 3 ice cubes in there, because the blender is, or the blades are going right over the ice cubes. So when you blend it, all the power obviously gets generated from the bottom, from where the blades are. So you have those ice cubes there, and they cool it out. And when you're done, you'll feel your container is cool. So it's not hot, it's not overheating. So that's one way you can combat that. You're not gonna destroy, because if it, of course, if it does heat up, your hemp, your chlorella, your any other micro things that you put in the herbs that they get destroyed, right, because of the heat that is generated. So again, I didn't want to go too long. Hope your brothers learned something. This is just how I do it. Some things I add, some things I detract. Like one thing I can just remember that I don't have, I usually put in there. I make a mix of the hemp, flax, and I usually put chia seeds in there. So I mix those two, and I put like 2 tablespoons of that. And how I mix it is I'll just take 1 tablespoon hemp, 1 tablespoon flax, 1 tablespoon chia, and I'll mix it. And I'll keep mixing that. Like I'll put those proportions in there, 1 tablespoon, until it fills the jar. And then from there you have your mixture. And then I'll use like 2 tablespoons of that in the blender. Anything else? Sometimes I put honey in there, which honey is not a big deal because it's a natural food. And it has a low glycemic index, so it doesn't raise your blood sugar high at a rapid rate, and it has many benefits, man. So with that, I want to say Kahala Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the blinders unto the apostles of GMS, and Shalom to the elect. Hope you brothers learn some.